Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be talking about neural networks, what they do, what they are. So yeah, let's get started. Oh yeah, and before I get into this video is going to be split up into two parts. The first part will be learning about the layers, three layers of a architecture of a neural network architecture, and really you're going to be comparing it to a real world scenario. And in the next video I'll be teaching you guys about weights and biases and what they are and activation keys. And yeah, let's get started. So a basic introduction to neural networks would be, let's say that you're attacked by a fire. How does our brain sense that there's a fire and it might harm us? Our brain does this because of the nervous system. So basically, guys, in our brain, we have neurons, right? So let's say there are four neurons. So our these neurons are all interconnected. So our so there are like billions of neurons, and what these neurons do are that they store information and they do stuff with those information. Yeah, so what these neurons do is that they sense the fire. So one neuron senses the fire and then it senses it. So since it's connected to all of the other neurons, all of these other neurons fire up too. So and they tell all of these neurons tell our brain, and their brain tells our body to move away from the fire or to just stay there. Yeah, so this is like a basic introduction to neural networks. So let me erase this. So now let's talk about the neural network architecture. So a neural network, based on architecture of a neural network, would be this. So 1, 2, 3. So let's say we have like three neurons in an input layer. So the input layer, guys. So the input layer is where you see the information. So this is where the neurons actually get the information and process the information. The beginning of um uh I don't know, learning, basically. So these neurons have like these inputs, or should I say information, and those information, it gives an output. So then the next layer is the hidden layer. So so the hidden layer is where it processes the information from the input layer, basically. Because if you just and okay, before I get into why there's a hidden layer, and why every neural network architecture must have a hidden layer, let's get into the output layer. So this is the output layer. So this is where we get the neural network gives the player or AI the output. So why do we need a hidden layer? Because let's say that there are like lots of information, and you can't just with those information just actually get an output. You need something to process it. That's where the hidden layer comes in. So all of these neurons are interconnected to each other, as you guys can see. So this is like the basic architecture of a neural network. So let's put this neural network into real world scenario. So let's say that you're creating an AI that can play Flappy Bird on its own. So let's say that this is the game window. This is the player. These are the obstacles. So, so first we need to figure out the inputs for this neural network that's going to be in the AI. So as you guys can see, before I get into those parts, I want to actually say that neural networks and the brain are like kind of like a similar thing, because you give an AI this neural network, and with that neural network, it does stuff similar to how you use your brain. So yes, now let's look at this example. So a few inputs would be the player's position, where it is, and if there's an obstacle on top of it, or if it's a obstacle, if there's an obstacle downwards. So those would be the inputs. So let me go here. So there's going to be a player position, a if there's an obstacle up, obstacle down. Yeah. So with these inputs, it gives the hidden layers and for some processing, and it gives an output. So let's say that the position and let's say that the position is 0, up is down, and down is -1. So what it does is that it processes these information, and with these information, it gives an output. So how does this work? So let's say that the position. So first, the neural network looks at the AI's position. So it's right there. Then it looks if there's a obstacle up or down. If it's up, then 1. So these one just go 1. These things is processed, and it's gonna result in 1. And yeah, this is how a neural network works, guys. So how does the neural network actually learn this stuff? Basically, guys, the neural networks and the AI is just like us, basically. So, how does it? So let's say that you want your AI to do 1,000 generations or something, and you want and the AI so in the first generation the AI just, I don't know, it's very sloppy. It just goes down and dies. But after 10 generations it learns that if it keeps going downwards, then it's just gonna keep dying. Then that means that the AI is actually learning something. So then it learns that if it goes up, it will survive. So it goes up on the next turn. And how does this AI learn stuff? This is where weights and biases come in. So I'm just gonna give you like a quick intro, and in the next video we'll be learning about what weights and biases actually are. So this is the formula. So I'll actually get into it in a sec. So weights plus inputs times, let me go here a bit, times the bias. So how does this formula work? Basically, these neurons, these lines, they have a weight. This is weight 1, weight 1, weight 2, and they're like lots of weights. There are like probably 6 weights right there in that in this architecture. So so then what this neural network, what this formula does is then it adds it with our input, and then after it adds all of those weights and inputs up together, it times that input with a bias. So how does this work? So let's say that in the first 10 generations the AI, or should I say the Flappy Bird AI, keeps going downwards. Basically what this thing does is that after the 10 generations it knows that it's gonna keep dying if it just keeps gonna go down. uh, then it learns that it has to go up. So what this does is that this formula is applied to these lines, and these lines, or should I say the formula, adjust with the neural network, and it results in basically learning new stuff. Yeah, so this is like a basic introduction to neural net. networks. Yeah, in the next video we'll be learning what neural networks actually like. No, how they work, what activation keys are, and yeah. So yeah, see you guys later in the next video. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. Yeah. Yes. So see you guys later at Shervin the Prodigy. Bye, guys.